Good morning, everybody. It is Friday. I still hate the way this layout looks, and I keep saying I need to change it, but I keep forgetting, and I need to figure out how to make myself go bigger in this screen on my box. It probably fills up your screen just fine. Probably not even an annoyance to you guys, but I'm just in this little box, and my bigger box looks like wasted space to me. But good morning, everybody. It is Friday. Today is the last day of July. Can we believe that? Like, pretty soon people are going to start posting like how many days there are till Halloween and Christmas, and I'm going to get depressed again because every year goes faster and faster and faster. I am in a little box. Thank you, Amy. Yeah, I don't like being in a little box. Nobody puts me in a little box. Nobody puts baby in a corner or Jay in a little box, except StreamYard, which is the platform I use to do this. They put me in a little box. It's very annoying. But anyway, I will live in this little box for the next hour with you guys. We are going to get to work today. If this is your first time on the webinar, and I don't know if anybody here is tuning in for the first time, and you are running a business and you want to know how you can use AI in your operations, we are here. Tanya, thank you. No, things are not better after last week, but I am trudging on. Just to give you guys a quick little update, I can't go into too much detail, but my daughter's in the hospital. It's not a physical thing, it's more of a mental thing. But last week was a lot was going on with this. But I love you guys and I'm transparent with you guys. So I figured I'd let you know. It has been a very difficult and challenging week, but I am really putting on the happy face today, and trying to get through. I think work for me and doing this is very therapeutic. Like this for me is like, who is it? Avanice always says like ready for vitamin J on Friday, right? I love that. Doing these webinars, doing these workshops on Friday is really, this keeps me going. Thank you. Yes, Avanice, it is a test of faith. You know, we were saying like God is really setting us up for something awesome to come. We've got a lot of faith, and I know everything's going to be okay. So thank you so much for the prayers. Amy, thank you. Avanice, Meg, Tanya, thank you. Yeah, so we're working through some stuff, but in the meantime, we're working through some stuff in AI too. AI is changing so rapidly, and Heather and RC backstage, if you guys wouldn't mind just showing some love to the commenters with some emojis for me so that I can keep talking, that would be great. Yeah, the last couple of weeks we were talking about AI for operations, but more on a customer facing level. So if you weren't with us the last couple of weeks, you can always go back and watch the replays. They're on the website. One of the things I was, when we planned this series, I was like, maybe this week's could have been gone at the beginning, because we talked about like how you can have AI answer the phone for you or answer your, after hours calls or during hour calls or overflow calls, instead of it going to voicemail. You don't want to miss those leads. You don't want to miss those opportunities. What if somebody messages you on Facebook or Instagram or email and you want to have AI either draft a response or actually respond, right? So we showed you how to use it for things like that. Very customer facing. But one of the things that I've been a big fan of, and if you've been following me since January, February, March, or April, you know this. I know one thing. D is on here. Thank you, D, for prayers. D will remember this, and maybe Meg and even Avanice, a few of you might remember. I'm a big believer in the customer brain, the company brain, right? The brain in a box. And I want to go back to this topic this week, but I don't want to go back to this topic in theory. I want you guys to start building your company brains. Here's why it's important, right? All of the knowledge of your business is likely trapped right up here, right? It's all trapped up here in your brain. Now, we need to get that knowledge that's trapped up here maybe it's the refund process that somebody on your team knows or only you know, and then you're trying to delegate to a virtual assistant or a remote team member or a just another employee or contractor. What is that refund process? I want to show you the refund process, but I've got to get that refund process out of my head and into some type of document or some type of place that it can live, so that you can delegate and stop being the bottleneck in your business. Right? So how we actually do these things in our business, it needs to live somewhere else. Okay. So when I'm moving my notes over here so I can look forward, when we get it out of our heads and into a system, right, the brain that we build becomes the training data that makes those week 2 and week 3, like front desk agent and appointment booking, calendar booking agents, actually smart. I'm going to say that again. When we get the data out of here and into a system, a knowledge base, a project, some place that it's used, right? Then we make our AI agents smarter. Remember, AI agents or assistants are really just employees for us, 24/7 employees who are very inexpensive and never call out sick or never late. Their alarm clock always goes off because they don't need one ever. The AI assistants, if we don't train them like we would train a human, well, then they're going to give crazy answers to the questions that people ask. If somebody calls your business right now and AI answers the phone and doesn't know anything about your business, it's going to try the best it can, but it's going to make you look bad. It is going to butcher your business. We have to train the AI on that knowledge. So, because what happens if your actual human person is out sick or leaves tomorrow, right? We can't be stuck with all that knowledge going out the door with somebody else. Okay. You also need to grow your businesses to train others and bring people on and be able to delegate tasks. You can't, trust me, I have failed a million times for you. I have tried to delegate tasks. You know how many times I've said, I need somebody to come help me in my business. And then I bring on a person and I'm like, on the first day, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you to do. It was all so clear in my head when I knew I needed help. I just needed help, but I didn't know what I needed somebody to do. And now I don't know how to train you to do it because I don't know what you need to do. Then you're in the right place today. We're going to fix that. By the end of today, you will know how to turn any notes, ideas, processes, anything that you have into a real working knowledge base, brain in a box for any actual employee or AI employee. Okay. We'll also be able to show you how you could take a whole bunch of documents you already have in your business and turn those into a searchable brain for your entire team and your AI agents, right? And then you'll also be able, your agents, your people can ask questions of it. So we're going to go through that. So if you guys remember, we talked recently about NotebookLM, which has been renamed, everybody. Again, thank you, Google, for naming things, changing the name all the time. Now it is Gemini Notebook, but I am still likely to say NotebookLM for at least 6 more months. But NotebookLM has now become Gemini Notebook, just so we're clear on this. And we're going to talk about that. But first, we're going to talk about how we can do our process documentation and get stuff out of our head and into somewhere else using whatever tool you like to use. Now, I told you pre-show to open up Claude or ChatGPT, if that's what you use. I'm not scoffing at anyone if you use ChatGPT. I'll try my best to show you how to do it in ChatGPT, but it's been so long since I've been in ChatGPT that I don't remember the interface, but I know there is an interactive method you can use with them. But I'm going to show you some stuff in Claude today. And then I'll also try to show you how to do it. We'll figure it out together in ChatGPT. Actually, I might do that first in case you're using ChatGPT. But I have asked everybody, if you're using Claude, to open Claude up And I want to show you, I'm going to share my screen, and I want to show you what you're able to do based on how I was doing it. And I went to do it yesterday. And let me share my screen so I can show you. So in your business, you have some type of process. And thank you. RC just posted today's resource link. So it's a PDF for you guys to look at about building your business brain. Inside of Claude, inside of ChatGPT, and inside of others, you can actually talk and have a conversation, meaning, thank you, Charisse, too. You can actually talk to your AI and it will transcribe it, but then it will talk back to you and transcribe it. I'm going to demonstrate it in real time. And I'm going to finish building a process that I started building yesterday. The process, we've been using this process for 8 years in our business, and we've got it documented already, but I know the process so well that I was like, I can just have a conversation about this process. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I built an entire platform called the Cortex Brain in a Box Cortex app that does this, where I can actually interview people over a Zoom or a Google Meet and get these processes documented as well. But I'm not even going to show you that today. I'm going to show you how you can do it just in Claude. You don't need anything special outside of that. So hopefully when I share my screen, I can also share the audio. Yep. And then I'm going to share my Claude screen. Now, if you guys have Claude open and you want to follow along, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do. And I want you to be able to do this, because you know what? If you talk where you are right now, I can't hear you. So if you want to talk to Claude, you can. I'll give everybody some quiet time so they don't miss anything. We're going to take just a few minutes and we're going to actually go through this. And I want you to go through it too. If you can't think of a process that you have in your head that you would like to delegate to someone else, feel free to have the AI build this out of like how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's my go-to. And what I mean by that is explain and have the AI work with you to get the step-by-step process to a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Only if your brain can't think of any other process, something that you've done 100 times that you want to get documented so that you could delegate it or train it to somebody else. All right. It's very important that if we're going to remove ourselves as the bottleneck in our business, that we get the stuff up here somewhere else that we can use to train others, right? And there's many ways you can do that. But first, let's get it out of here. I'm going to show you the easiest way I've ever found to do that. Okay. So what I did yesterday is I actually came into Claude, if you guys can see this on the screen, and I said, hey, I would like to build out a standard operating procedure. Now, by the way, I said this. If you're in Claude, you can use something called voice mode. If you guys can see my cursor down here, the bottom of the screen, there's a little, it looks like maybe like sound bars. It's next to the microphone. The microphone is actually holding and recording your voice. You don't need to do that. You can actually go to voice mode and Claude will talk back to you. Got a really cool like British accent too. Claude will talk back to you, so you'll actually have a conversation. ChatGPT has this as well. Let me pop up ChatGPT real quick and I'll share my screen in case you guys happen to be using ChatGPT and you want to do it in there. I believe it'll work the same way. Yeah, let's just yeah, it's called voice. Let me share my screen. If you guys are using ChatGPT, they have a thing. It's called voice. I think it's right here, start voice. But you can do this. So let me say, hey, ChatGPT, I was hoping you could interview me and document a standard operating procedure. Would you be able to do that with me today?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start simple. What's the process or task you want to turn into an SOP?
Yeah, I want you to have me interview me so that we can fully document the process of making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Perfect. Let's map it out. First question. What's the goal of the process in plain terms?
Okay. So yeah, so in ChatGPT, you click, it almost looks like the same thing in Claude. there's like just the little vertical lines that look like an audio. And if you hover over it, it'll say start voice. So you can do that. And then when you end it, it's gonna actually show you all the transcription on screen. Okay, so that's if you're using ChatGPT. I'm using Claude. So I actually had this conversation. I got through most of the process, but I'm going to pick up where I left off yesterday, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So if there's something, what is your refund process? How do you open your location in the morning? How do you escalate an angry customer email? How do you respond to a positive review? Maybe you want to have an interview as to what your brand voice is. Any type of process or any type of thing that you need to get out of your head that you're like, man, if I could just show this or give this to somebody else, my life would be easier. That's what I want you to be doing. And feel free to use that while I'm talking. I will go slow and I'll be doing this. Feel free to talk to your computer in a different tab while this audio is playing, and see if you can play along. If not, just follow me here, listen in, watch, and then go try it when we're done. Okay, but this is really important. You want to get as much documentation done. So here's what we're going to do. I made it to, let's see, I actually told it yesterday I was going to pause for now because I had to go to another meeting. So let's see, I got the messenger. All right. So this is a process of how we have a client. By the way, if anybody knows an owner of an estate sale company, like they run estate sales for people who might be downsizing, maybe somebody passed away, maybe somebody's, just got to get rid of all the stuff in their house. And the owner of a company that goes in and sells it all for them over 2 to 3 days. If you know the owner of an estate sale company, let me know. Be a great referral for us because we've been doing this for 10 years with a client in Virginia. And so we've had this process documented for years. Heather does the promotions every single time that we do these, but because we just know the process, like forward and backward, like what happens if someday, Heather was moving on to do something other than the estate sale process, and maybe I don't have the time to sit down to train somebody, and we need this process, what's in our head, what's in Heather's head or my head, to move to the next person that's going to do this, or the new team member that we're like, okay, let's delegate that so you could do other things, right? So I got to this part where we posted the Facebook post. The automation is attached. Okay, so I'm going to continue here. Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. All right, so we left off with the Facebook post live and the comment to messenger automation attached. So the post is out in the world. What's the next step after that?
Okay, so once that is live, we're going to start getting the visitors. We used to boost the post, so you could always see maybe boosting that post with an ad would be the next step. But for right now, since we're not boosting any posts, one of the things that we need to do is we need to send out a text message to the text list, as well as an email message, bulk email message to everyone who's subscribed to the email list.
Got it. So once the post is live, you go to your own channels, the text list and the email list. So a bulk SMS to the text subscribers and a bulk email blast to the email list. And I've noted the boost step as an optional path since you've paused that for now. Quick question on those blasts. Do they go out through JourneyBuilder too? And do they use those same custom values with the short link?
Great question. Yeah, they do. We do send out the text blast through JourneyBuilder for right now. So anytime somebody enrolls or opts in for the text to be part of the text program, that is tracked through the CRM that we sell. Email right now can be done through JourneyBuilder, but when they came over to us, he's always used MailChimp. So MailChimp is the platform that we use for the blasts, although that's likely going to change very soon and we can update the SOP later.
Perfect. That makes sense. So the text blast goes out through JourneyBuilder, where all the opt-ins are tracked in the CRM. and the email blast currently goes through MailChimp since that's what he's always used, with a note that it'll likely move into JourneyBuilder soon, and we'll update the SOP then. So both blasts are out. What's the next step after that?
That pretty much wraps up the marketing and promotion of the estate sale.
Nice. So that's the full arc from the text of photos coming in all the way to the blasts going out. Before I pull this into a complete SOP for you, a few loose ends to make it airtight. First, timing. Is there a schedule to any of this? Like, does the Facebook post go out a certain number of days before the sale? And do the text and email blasts go out the day before or morning of?
Oh, great question. Thank you for asking. So typically we get the sales are usually Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sometimes they're only 2 days, and sometimes they actually go into Sunday for 4 days, but typically Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we usually get the files, the pictures, the weekend prior to the sale. And on Monday is when we create the automation and the Facebook post and get all that stuff done, the estatesales.net listing, the estatesales.com listing. And then on Tuesday is when we do the text blast and the email. And both of those are between 9 and 11 a.m. on Tuesdays, the week of the sale.
That's the missing piece. Thanks. So the rhythm is files come in the weekend before. Monday is build day, listings on both sites, custom values, and the Facebook post with the automation. Then Tuesday morning between 9 and 11, both the text and email blasts go out. The week of a sale that typically runs Thursday through Saturday, sometimes 2 days, sometimes 4, into Sunday. 2 last things, and then I'll write it up. When you build the estatesales.com listing on Monday, does that one also get a jot URL short link, or is it only estatesales.net that you actively promote? And second, is there anything you do after the sale wraps, like taking the listing down or archiving the folder?
So to the latter question, no, there's nothing that we do as far as the listing or archiving. It automatically happens once the sale is over. But good question. The only jot URL short link that we make and the link that we promote is actually for estatesales.net, not estatesales.com.
Perfect. That clears up both. So estatesales.com is really just a mirror listing for coverage. And estatesales.net is your one true promotion link, the one that gets the jot URL and rides through everything. And nothing to do post-sale since the listings expire on their own. All right, I've got everything I need to build this out into a complete SOP. Since it's a full structured document, this is one of those things that'll land much better in the text interface than me reading it aloud. Want me to go ahead and write up the finished SOP there for you now?
That would be great.
Awesome. I'll write up the full step-by-step SOP in the text chat, since it's a proper structured document with all the folder paths and the Monday-Tuesday timeline. It'll be there waiting for you when you switch over. Anything else you want me to tackle while we're on the call?
Nope, thank you so much. Go ahead and start writing.
Brilliant. It'll be ready for you in the text chat. Cheers, Jay, and good luck with Lloyd's next sale. Goodbye.
Okay, so it's going to continue to work and create the SOP. Now, what do we do with the SOP? All right, so once we've got the SOP, there's a few things you can do with it. One, you can keep all of your work in projects or folders inside of, you can download it to your computer. You can keep it in a project in Claude. You can keep it in, what does ChatGPT use? They use projects too. Projects, or project in ChatGPT. And then one of the things, and we'll let it, let's see, it'll be ready for you in the text chat. So we're going to, let's see, current is an assistant running message in the conversation. Okay, so we're gonna wait and see if that writes out the SOP for me. And then what we would do with it, let me go over to Notebook. what we do, and this is just for what we do. I want to show you guys, if you're not familiar with NotebookLM or Gemini Notebook. So just as I was saying earlier, when you go to NotebookLM now, it tells you that is now Gemini Notebook. Okay. If you have a Gmail account, that's all you need. If you have a Gmail account, you can use this, even if it's free. You can use the free version, which may be enough for you to document all of your stuff and build your own company brain. All right. If you guys have questions on how I did that in Claude or ChatGPT with the voice, feel free to put them in the chat. Any questions I'll try to answer. I don't want to move too fast. And I'm going to go really slow right now, and I'm going to talk a little bit because I know some of you might be actually interviewing your AI to get a process documented. So I'll give you guys a few minutes, and I'll take a sip just to allow some time. Marketing. All right. Actually, I'm going to create a new notebook. If you guys haven't been in NotebookLM yet, the way you get there is actually notebook.google.com. So that's it. So notebook.google.com. I'll put the link in the chat for you guys. I'll do it real quick. Okay. Probably my favorite, short of Claude being my favorite AI assistant chat tool, NotebookLM is kind of one of my favorite places to keep documents because, you know, you can actually connect a notebook to your Google Drive. So anytime you upload, open up a document and edit the document, add to a document, change a document, that all syncs over into the notebook. Here's a good tip in some ways you can use NotebookLM. We're going to use it as a way to train people, as a way to keep our documentation so that we can delegate better. It's also a good place to keep all your documentation so that you can take all of it and put it into whatever AI assistant you're going to use for voice or chat, like we did in the previous couple of weeks. But one of the things that I find is an amazing use of NotebookLM. Let's say you guys buy a book online. Anybody ever buy a book online? I just recently did. And they were able to give it to me as a downloadable PDF file, right? Well, here's what I did. I took that PDF file. Dee says she does it all the time. Dee, if you get your PDF of that book, take that PDF, put it into a notebook inside of here, and then you can start asking questions and it will use the book to give you the answers. You can also create other ways to learn from that book inside of the studio. And I'll show you that. Oh, Dee does it all the time. Great. That's okay. You do that too. Yeah. Take your books or your PDF files, anything you get in your work life, home life, personal, whatever, take those PDFs and throw them into a notebook. And then I'll show you all the magic you can do with that. Okay. Works great. Yes, it does. It works amazingly well. All right. 1 second. I'm just looking right now. I'm looking in Claude to see if I've got the SOP built out yet on a different tab. So I don't have that with you. And if you guys are still working, keep working. Keep working inside and doing your processes. Okay, it's still working on my SOP. So I'll give you guys a few minutes. Thank you, Dee. I'm glad you were able to validate that. All right. Give you guys a couple more minutes. I told you I wanted you to get to work today. I can lecture and I can talk and I can teach, but I think sometimes just doing something on your own to get comfortable with it doesn't even have to be much of anything. But what you're doing here is you're telling the AI to interview you, right? So you're saying, hey, ask me the step-by-step questions. You'll be amazed at how good it is if you didn't notice just from what I just did. But what I'm waiting on right now, I'm going to create a new notebook, and I'm going to put the estate sale SOP that I generated in Claude. I'm going to put it into a notebook, and I'm going to show you some of the things that we can do with that in real time. And remember, this series that we're in right now is on operations. It's not marketing, right? Now, the process I put in is a process we use to market an estate sale, but it's not marketing for my company. We are a marketing agency, so we market these sales. So what we're doing is the operations, the step-by-step of how do we do, what do we do next? What do we do? So we're very, I've been very adamant about, like, it's easy to teach you guys how to use AI to create marketing materials or written, visual, video, all that stuff. But to actually get work done and the way to do it and to utilize AI truly, it has to be in our day-to-day operations. All right, it's almost done. And I hope you guys are building something to you. Anybody building something right now in Claude while they're talking to me, you can tell me later. I want you to keep having your conversation with Claude. You can even do it by typing as well. I just think voice is so much easier. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Let me open this up. So let me show you, actually, let me flip back over to Claude. I want to show you Nancy. Awesome. Okay, cool. I'm going to flip back over to Claude real quick before we go back to NotebookLM, just to show you what Claude was able to produce from that conversation. Okay. All right. So in my brand colors, my teal and my red and my white and my black, it actually, because Claude knows my brand colors because I've trained it, this is what it gave me from that conversation. Estate sale promotion, client, Lloyd's Estate Sales, okay? Owner, version, purpose, the SOP documents the complete process, weekly cadence and timeline, the process, step by step, when we get stuff, what it looks like. Look how formatted and nice it is. All from a conversation that I had by voice with an AI assistant, right? What do we do? Updating the values, why this matters, build and publish the Facebook post on Monday, send the blasts Tuesday 9 to 11, where we send them from, optional reference notes, boosting the post sale, quick reference, what tools are we using, right, to get all this done, right? So I've got this 3-page document that I can now save as a Google Drive, or I can just download it. I'm just going to download it for now to my downloads folder. And now I'm going to come back over to Gemini Notebook, NotebookLM. I'm going to create a new notebook. And I'm going to call this notebook. I'm not going to do anything yet. I'm going to name the notebook first up in the upper left corner. I'm going to say client processes. Right, so these are processes, and I'll call JVI. I'm going to probably delete it, but keep that document. Is there a way to get images in the SOP? 100%, Tanya. I actually, in that tool that I told you I built, we actually put that in where we could do screenshots. If you want screenshots, you can upload those. You can say, hey, I want to add this image here, and you can upload it, right? You can add files or photos inside of Claude in your chat here. you can say, hey, can you add this here, and it could put it with step 5, right? So you could take do that. You could even grab screenshots, right? And you can get those put in, and you could do that in both. So yeah, so the SOP is just basically it's going to give you as a Google Doc or a Word doc. So you can also add your images later, right? So I could, like, if I open the Google Doc here, open it in Drive. And share that tab. So here it is in Google Drive now, right? So if I wanted to add an image in here, I could do it after the fact. But it's not going to create an image during the creation process of the SOP necessarily. You'll have to add them in. But images are always great. And I like that. When I built the Cortex app, which is a completely separate program we're not talking about today, I actually have that where we can actually, as I'm clicking, it's capturing screenshots for the process, and then it puts them all in one. That's actually pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to go back over to Notebook. What you do when you're in NotebookLM or Gemini Notebook, I'm going to be calling it NotebookLM forever. I know I am. And what you can do inside of here is you can add your sources. Now, if you're adding sources, I would never search the web for new sources if you're doing that for your business. Right? If you're doing something like this process, I'm not going to search the web for how somebody else promotes an estate sale. So I try to not ever search the web for new sources. The only time I search the web for new sources is if I'm trying to learn something, right? Like I might search the web for how to take care of a golden retriever puppy. And I might search the web and get sources on the best way to take care of a golden retriever puppy. It'll load in some sources, and then I can query those sources. The cool thing about NotebookLM is it has what's called source grounding, right? Yeah, Gemini Notebook is stored in your Google Drive. It will be stored in your Google Drive. If you have Google Workspace, you can share your notebooks with people that are in the same workspace. If you're just using a personal Gmail account, you can't share your notebooks with anybody, but you can share the output with anyone. Okay. So yeah, so it's in your Google Drive. So here's what I'm going to do though. I'm going to actually, maybe I'll just do it from the Drive. Yeah. I'm going to share the document. I'm going to insert it from Google Drive. So here's the Lloyd's Estate Sale Promotion SOP, right? Now watch what happens. All I have is this one document. All this notebook knows is this one document. This notebook does not know everything AI knows. This notebook does not know everything that's out there on the web. All this notebook knows is this one SOP document that I gave it, that I created, that is specific and internal to me. That is called source grounding. The information that this has in this notebook is grounded to the source that I uploaded. And I can add multiple sources. I can even select and unselect some of my sources, right? And it tells me here, it generated an overview of what this is. This document outlines the standard operating procedure for managing digital promotions for Lloyd Estate Sales, detailing a structured weekly workflow, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. What happens here? And then it asks me some sample questions possibly, or gives me some prompts for some sample questions I might want to ask it, like what's the typical weekly timeline for promoting a sale? How is automation used to turn Facebook comments into leads? Which tools are essential for managing photo and listing links, right? So what this does, imagine you have an employee and you're using Google Workspace as your domain, right? So they have a company account with you in the same Google domain, right? You're paying for Google Workspace. You can share the notebook with them. And then this new team member, you can say, hey, if you have any questions about this process at all, before you come and interrupt me and stop what I'm doing, I'm going to show you, you go to the notebook and you ask the notebook for answers. You ask the AI for answers, because all this notebook knows is these processes, right? So I could say something like, when do we send out the text blast? Now, instead of asking Jay, I come in here and I say, ooh, I forget when I'm supposed to send that text blast out. Oh, look, the text blast is sent Tuesday morning between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. the week of the sale. It is sent through JourneyBuilder, the JourneyBuilder platform. So I know where to go, right? And see the little citations? It shows you where in the document it found the information. So it's, again, source grounding. It's giving you citations of like, I'm not making this up. This is where we find the information. Okay. Now, you can ask it a million questions about this one source. Here's something else you can do. Maybe you have that new employee and you want something visual. I like to learn visually. Well, you can turn it into a cute infographic. And maybe I'll do a portrait infographic, vertical, right? And I'll do it in this very cute, I don't even know if it's kawaii, I think kawaii style. And we're going to make it detailed, right? And you can also upload your styles, but I'm just going to say use, I know my hex colors for my brand by heart, so I'm going to just put them in here. Okay, so I can actually turn this document now into an infographic. Okay, it's going to generate that. It's going to take a minute. I can also do a quiz, an interactive AI quiz based on the document. Right, I'll generate one of those, and I'll make it as hard as I can based on that one source, but we'll just ask standard questions. You can make flashcards, a mind map. You can even generate a video overview of the process. We'll go ahead and we'll do that. We'll make it a short bite-sized, actually we'll do an explainer video, and we'll do Kawaii for that as well. And it should focus on the operational, actually the promotion workflow. Okay. And then you can even do an audio overview, which is like a podcast. It'll create a podcast. If you guys are using Adobe Acrobat, or if you've ever seen inside Acrobat, like when you open up a PDF now, they have a podcast thing. It'll turn it into a podcast. Doesn't work nearly as good as this one. We're going to do a brief bite-sized overview based on the source. And I'm going to say, yeah, I like this. Explain the workflow to a new marketing assistant. Explain this workflow to a new marketing assistant. And we're going to generate that. Okay. So while the AI is generating this, and it uses Gemini, which is Google's flagship AI tool. You guys have probably seen a lot about Gemini. It produces some amazing outputs. It is as good as Claude. It is, Gemini is to visual and organizational output as Claude is to strategy and structured thinking. Okay, that's the best way I can put it. So let's see what we've got now. So our infographic is done. All right, so let's see the infographic based on the standard operating procedure that we built. Look at this. All right, let's see if I can make it bigger. I can zoom in. Come on, whoops. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, look at this. The weekly rhythm, Lloyd's estate sale promotion guide. Phase 1. Now, you guys missed this earlier. I did it yesterday. But gather the raw assets, receive the sales copy via email and property photos via test from the business owner. The bridge to Google Drive, manually download the tested photos, upload them to your, okay, so it didn't spell that right, but your estate sales folder using the month and dates naming convention. Then get a short link, a short URL. Then create the digital listings. estatesales.net is the anchor listing with up to 300 photos. Update the JourneyBuilder values. Build the Facebook post. Tuesday, the launch blasts. All right. Active automation. This is what happens. Here's the toolkit to do it. Like, look at this. It's cute and it's silly. I probably wouldn't use it, but yeah, turn that into a poster and put it on your office wall. Absolutely, Nancy. Look at that. Everybody should see that comment, right? So now you have an infographic of your processes. In the past, I've shown this with like opening and closing procedures for a pizza restaurant, right? You get that. So that's just an infographic that it makes, right? All created by AI based on our one source, okay? Now, what else did we get? We got a quiz. Let's look at our quiz. Which of the following is the correct naming convention for a specific sales folder within the 2026 Google Drive directory for a sale occurring October 12th to 14th? Okay. Guess what? I know that the answer is C. All right. We use a 3-character month, sometimes 4 if it's July. All right. July, I think, is the only one we do. Otherwise, we use 3. Heather's hopefully nodding her head in agreement. It's usually like OCT for October. In July, we don't do JUL. We just do July because it's one extra letter. And then we put the date, the starting date, and the ending date of the sale. And then we put the files in there. And it's in a subfolder. So we have the 2026 Google Drive directory for the sale. Next question. What is the primary technical reason for updating the custom values in JourneyBuilder every Monday? Well, it's basically to override to archive the previous week's metrics before the new sale data overwrites the dashboard. Oh, what is it saying? To populate the automated messenger responses. That's true too. That was a tricky one because it does both, but custom values act as placeholders that feed the automation. I didn't read all the answers first. Oh, it is to overwrite the answers as well. Regarding the distribution of photos. Okay, so I don't have to take the whole quiz here. It built it. And all right, the next thing, this is going to blow your mind, guys. Maybe you have that new hire and you're giving them a ton of stuff on day one, or you want to do this with an assistant, right? Listen to this. This is completely AI generated in the time. I've done this in real time. So you saw me put the source in, right? It's going to be a 1.5-minute brief. And we can do up to like a 40-minute podcast between 2 AI generated people. Sounds just like you're listening to a radio show. But check this out.
This is the brief on the Lloyd's estate sales promotion workflow. Welcome to the team. Think of this as your weekly playbook for turning a client's scattered raw photos into an automated traffic driving machine. First, we bridge the tech gap with asset intake. Over the weekend, the owner is going to text you hundreds of photos, one by one. You're basically the digital bridge here. Come Monday, grab those pictures, organize them in Google Drive, and build the main gallery on estatesales.net, plus a quick mirror listing on .com. Then use JotURL to create a clean short link just for that main .net listing. Second, let's build the automated traffic engine. Jump into JourneyBuilder, update the custom values, and build a Facebook post using up to 40 photos. The absolutely crucial part is the call to action. Comment pictures to see more. So why make them comment instead of just giving them the link? Well, this triggers a messenger automation that acts like a digital net. It completely spikes the algorithm's engagement while dropping the sale details directly into their inbox. Finally, the Tuesday launch.
Okay, you got that. So, and the podcast version, I'll play you a podcast version of a longer version so you can see how good that quality is. But imagine now you're training somebody and you're like, hey, just listen to this on the way into work. You know, it'll help you learn faster and get up to speed a lot quicker. I'll show you one. Let me go to one that I've done. All right, here's an 18-minute and 45-second. I'm not going to play it all for you, but I want to show you this. I want to show you how it sounds when they do the podcast, which when you go to create it, it's actually called a deep dive or a debate. Okay, so I usually do the deep dive. It's a lively conversation between 2 hosts. Remember, this is all generated in real time by AI. So when you hear it, you think, oh, it's going to sound so robotic, right? Like, I mean, it's got to sound robotic. Well, you tell me in about 30 seconds from now if it sounds robotic or not. Hasn't started playing yet.
Right, the dreaded employee handbook.
Yeah. So today, we're basically reverse engineering a society by reading its rule book. We're taking a deep dive into the 2024 Ocean Supply Company Employee Handbook, version 3.2. I'm your host, and I'm thrilled to get into this.
And I'm the resident expert for this deep dive. To kind of set the stage for you listening, Ocean Supply Company is this Gulf Coast maritime and industrial distribution company. They've got this massive, 120,000 square foot warehouse headquarters in Galveston.
That's huge.
Right. Massive. And they also have a...
I mean, who would listen to that and think that's AI if you didn't know? Like, that just sounds like an actual conversation, right? And that's what this can produce for you based on just your sources. They're not making anything up. All those two people know is what's in the source inside the notebook. Meg wants to know, can I put an old video of directions into AI and ask for it to transcribe the steps? 100% you can. You might need to get that video on, you might need to get the video up onto YouTube, even as an unlisted or video, to have it be read by the AI. But there are tools that can read. If the video file is small enough, it can read it, and it should be able to take care of it. If you can get it online somewhere publicly, like if you can upload it and then put the link in, sometimes it can go through the video that way. But yes, you can definitely do that. Amy, oh no, you lost me. I hope I came back. You want to let me know that I came back for you? Because it says you're saying the screen is frozen. That's got to be on your end, I think. But let me know if you're back. I hope you're not missing anything. All right. Let's go back over to that notebook. I am back. Okay. Thanks. That's good to know. All right. We're going back into our notebook and seeing our video is not done yet. An explainer video does take a while to generate. If you want a video of this process, it will, or the explaining of the process, not the actual process. You can do that. But think about all the different ways that you can train somebody. And then I'm going to show you how this ties in with the previous week's stuff. But anything you guys have, employee handbook, policies and procedures, legal, this is not a lawyer, but legal stuff, you can have it scan and read and understand. Like, you can query your documents very quickly. Gosh, there's so many ways and so many things. We actually have a download. I don't know. I don't think we'd be able to find it real quick, but we have like 30 ways that you can use to build your notebooks. We have a whole process for teaching you how you should set your notebooks up in your company. We've done that workshop before. There's 6 notebooks we believe everybody should set up inside your company. So you have an HR notebook, a leadership notebook, an operations notebook, a marketing notebook, a sales notebook, and a, hold on, what did I say? HR, operations, leadership, sales, marketing. Oh my gosh. HR, sales, marketing, leadership, operations. You need an operations notebook, right? Okay. Meg says, gotcha, epic. All right, good. Hope you guys are still working with Claude on building this. Why is this so important? Well, I've given you a bunch of reasons why this is so important for training other people. But what if you want to train the AI to do something for you? In the previous weeks, we spoke about like having AI answer calls for your business, right? Well, you're going to need to train the AI on things like your operating hours. You're going to need to train it on the people that work for you, or being able to book a calendar. But so you have to give it your access to your calendar to book appointments for you. They may have a question about a product or a service. You want to make sure you give the AI information on the product or service. So let's say you are using JourneyBuilder as your AI voice assistant or your AI chat assistant for your website, or if somebody calls your business. You need that stuff put into a knowledge base. This is what we're building. Everything needs a knowledge base. Your number one task when you start using AI in business is to train the AI on your data. Garbage in, garbage comes out. Also, garbage in, and this is where it gets scary when you're having AI act as a employee. Garbage in, hallucination out. Okay. Yeah, Nancy, yes, train the AI, so much time. So yeah, training the AI, once you train it, and guys, spend the hours to do it. Spend it. Spend it. Put it aside. Put time aside. I'm going to train my AI for 2 hours right now or 3 hours, right? It's okay. It's time well spent if you want to use AI to do other things. You have to train the AI on your stuff, okay? Nancy nailed it. Meg says epic. Gotcha. Okay, cool. We now have a video that I'm going to show you, which is a explainer video of the process that we've documented today. 5 notebooks. It was 6. Let me put them in here. Sorry, Charisse. Let me get them all for you. HR, operations, leadership, sales, marketing, HR, operations, leadership, sales, marketing, and oh my gosh, I'm doing it again. I always blank on the sixth one when I do it. HR, operations, leadership, sales, marketing, and dang it. Why can't I? HR, sales, marketing, operations. Sorry, research. That's the one I always seem to forget is research. I'll explain what that is. Let me go back in here and do research. Research. Sorry, I didn't say that one before. I think I did say operations twice. Research. So I'll go through just a quick, there's 6 notebooks. I'm putting it in the chat. Okay. HR, it's your human resources. That's everything related to your people processes, right? People and processes of hiring, firing, time off, benefits. You know, you guys know what an HR employee handbook. That's your employee handbook goes there, right? Your anything HR, policies and procedures for running people, managing people in your company. Operations. Well, that's what I'm building right now in a client process of how we do things. How do we do things on the day-to-day? Your opening, your closing procedures, whether it's client work or internal work, you want your operations. How do you run your business day-to-day? Most of your stuff is operations. Leadership. This is the notebook that only you need if you're a solopreneur. I guess you only need all of them, but if you're going to hire somebody out, you might want your leadership notebook to just be, in bigger companies, it's just the executive team, right? That is a very private notebook, the least amount of access, but your leadership doc, your P&Ls, your growth plans, your strategy, your executive summaries, those things go into your leadership notebook, right? Sales. Okay. Put in your sales call transcripts if you've recorded them. Maybe you do your sales meetings through Zoom or Google Meet, right? Get those recordings, put them into your sales notebook so you can train new salespeople. Get your best salesperson to give that over, right? So research, yeah, research. I'm going to come back to that. I just saw the comment come in. Okay, perfect. Sales, marketing. That's all of your marketing materials, your brand colors, your efforts, your documents, logos, anything that you need to do marketing. You want to put that in your notebook. Maybe past campaigns, images, maybe just training calls, workshops, right? This is all marketing for me doing these workshops. And then research is the only one that I will say you can go outside of just uploading. Remember I told you before that I don't like searching the web for new sources. I don't like searching the web for new sources on any of those first 5 notebooks. You can search the web for new sources in your research notebook. Research is where maybe you're doing competitor analysis, or you're searching the web for the top trends on this or that. You want to get statistics. You want to get data, right? Put that stuff in your research notebook. So that one you can search the web for new sources and then pull information from it. Fair? All right, let's take a look at this marketing SOP video overview.
Welcome to this explainer. You know, if you've ever been anywhere near event promotion, local retail, or estate sales, you absolutely know the weekend scramble. Today, we're totally decoding a real-world, step-by-step standard exact playbook JVI Mobile Marketing uses to promote Lloyd's estate sales. We're going to take that messy, chaotic prep and turn it into a beautifully automated, highly predictable marketing engine that runs like absolute clockwork. So here's a pretty massive question for you. How exactly do you take a bunch of raw text messages and emails and spin them into a full-blown multi-channel marketing campaign in just 48 hours? I mean, in the estate sale business, doors open Thursday morning. You don't have weeks to plan. You literally have to move lightning fast, be hyper accurate, and you definitely cannot afford to reinvent the wheel every single time.
To get there, we're going to build this engine piece by piece. First up, the weekly marketing engine. Then organizing the raw assets, anchoring the sale, connecting the automation, and finally launching the blasts. Let's get right into it.
Section 1, the weekly marketing engine.
All right, you guys get the point. I don't need to play 7 minutes of this for you, but look how cool this is. It's actually going through an explainer video of what we do. Now, imagine taking that, taking the audio, taking the infographic, taking the document, and having all of that in one place for, more than one way. People learn in different ways. Like I said, I like learning through video. YouTube is like my best friend, not counting the AI best friends and not counting my wife and my child, and my best friend. Tanya, I'm sorry, you're getting kicked out. I don't know why. I hope nobody else is getting kicked out. But this is, Nancy, you got it. Hitting all the learning styles. Everybody learns differently, right? Everybody learns differently. And Gemini Notebook gives you the ability to take what you do and train anybody, especially your AI. I'm glad to hear Avanice isn't getting kicked out. Tanya, I'm sorry. It's got to be an internet thing. Look, we've got Notebook is great. Now, if I go into JourneyBuilder, just give me a second. Now, if you guys don't have JourneyBuilder, I totally understand. It is what we sell. It is not a free product. However, if you want to try any of this yourself, I'll give you a whole month to try it, to learn it, see what you think, work with our team. You'll be on as if you're a paid customer, but you can do it. The QR code that's in the upper corner of your screen, it's either on the left or the right, depending on how this is displaying to you. There's a QR code. It's got like a blue duck in there. If you scan that code with your phone, you can actually sign up for a free 30-day trial to our platform, JourneyBuilder. And I am going to just show you real quick how this ties in if you want to do this with the stuff we talked about in week 2 and week 3, and then we're going to wrap it up for the day. So I'm going to go over to, I'm going to share my screen here in just a second. We have a wonderful inside of JourneyBuilder. We have the CRM. We have all the AI Studio to build a website with AI. You can just tell it about your website and it'll build it for you. We've got, marketing, social media planning, calendar schedule, booking calendars, automations to do everything, all the stuff, right? We got all the things, memberships and reviews, online management, SEO, everything. AI agents is where we have our voice AI and conversation AI. If you were with us the last couple of weeks, I showed you how you can have an AI answer the phone, how you can have AI answer a chat message from Facebook or in text or whatever, and the AI will take over it. We showed you how these AI tools can actually book appointments on your calendar for you. So imagine this, it's 11 o'clock at night, you're sound asleep, but somebody calls your business because they're up late, and maybe it's something that they would be up late searching for, right? They're like, well, let me just call this company. I know it's after hours. And the phone gets answered by someone that sounds fairly human, but they know it's probably AI, right? But the AI answers it and they say, hey, I'd love to learn more. How can I set up a time for a demo? Or I'd love to learn more. Great, you should set up a demo. Oh, I can book that for you. right? And then the voice AI actually looks at your calendar, books the demo, right? That's what voice AI and conversation AI can do. And our conversation AI has booked probably closer to 5,000 appointments in the last 15, 16 months or so with our clients that are connected to their calendars, right? But now, this is the important thing that we've been talking about. Avanis, thank you so much. Let's put that up on the screen because, I mean, obviously. And guys, if you want JourneyBuilder, guys, it's less than $100 a month if you want it. Now, that is DIY. That is for you. And I'm not going to go into a sales pitch on it right now. If you want to talk about it later, great. RC is going to put a link to book a 15-minute coaching call with you. I will try to answer any question you have about AI in 15 minutes or less. If we're on the phone longer than 15 minutes, totally your fault. Even though I digress and run on long. Just kidding. Not really. I do digress and run on long. Anyway, thank you, Avanis. Yes, JourneyBuilder is incredible. So just so you know, I don't even hide this. If anybody on here is watching this and they've heard of Go High Level or High Level, right? That's what we build on. Like, that is the platform that we use. There are like 8 million small businesses in the world that use this platform. We white label it as our own, but I don't hide behind the fact that it's high level. I absolutely love the fact that it's high level. But we just call it JourneyBuilder, and then we build custom solutions on top of that high level platform. Because if you went out and bought high level for $97 a month, same as you'd pay me, if you did that, you would be so lost so quick and you wouldn't know where to go for support that you'd probably cancel. So I say, if you buy JourneyBuilder from me for $97 a month, I'm going to give you the opportunity to check in with Ryan from our team up to 3 times a week at our drop-in calls and get your questions answered. Don't believe me? Try a 30-day trial. Anyway, I'm losing people here. Everything we did today is for one reason. I want to show you this for one reason. Knowledge base. Okay? In your knowledge base, in what we did today, we were building a knowledge base. What that means is everything we did today, building out the SOP, right? And then turning it into different documents, putting it in NotebookLM so we could train somebody. If we want to train the AI, we need to import files from Google Drive. So I can actually create my knowledge base with AI, which is a new feature. Everything in our platform now has AI to help you do things. So you don't even really need Ryan 3 times a week. You can just ask AI in here. But we're going to go create a knowledge base, and I could say estate sale process. And what that will allow me to do is add a file, import from Google Drive. Why is it that one? It's not finding it. All right, hold on. We're just going to upload from computer. And downloads. It's a promotion doc. It's uploading it. So this is your knowledge base to train your AI assistant. So just like we train Notebook, everything so that we could share that and get it turned into lots of different visual learning cues. AI just needs the information, right? So now when I upload this, it'll process it. And if I connect this knowledge base for the estate sale process to my AI phone answerer, I could call my NAI and ask it about the process, and it will know everything about the process. So now you've got a built-in coach, an AI coach on how to do your job. You've replaced yourself, guys. You've replaced yourself. All right. You could chat with it. If it's connected to your AI agent, you can chat with it over in here. And as we continue to develop on JourneyBuilder, we're going to start putting all this stuff right into JourneyBuilder so that you can actually build and create AI agents that would almost make Gemini Notebook or Claude not even something you even need to do this, because you'll be able to come in here and just run your business. Everything. It will know everything about your business right inside your account. Okay, fair enough. That's good. Okay, I've gotten through everything I need to know. Do you guys see how this ties in with your operations? How important this is? This is almost so foundational. I should have done it in week 1, but I wanted to get you excited about some of the things agents could do. But now I have to tell you kind of how to train them, right? So that's where we're at. All right. Any questions right now? We're just about to wrap up. Drop them in the chat. I've got a hard stop in less than 5 minutes. Happy to answer 1 or 2 questions. RC put the coaching call link in the chat. If you guys want to book time, I'm 2 weeks out on time. I'm actually going away next week. So I'm actually about 10 days out. But you can book me for the week after next. Speaking of next week, I will be away, but what I'm doing is I am recording next week's webinar about 1 hour from now. So next week, thank you, Nancy. Next week, join us. You'll get promotions. You'll be everything just like if it's live at 10:30 next Friday morning. Jump on. You will get a webinar. I just won't be doing it live. All right. But it's going to be new information. It's going to be a follow-up to this. It's going to be the next step in the process. Thank you, Dee. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you guys for the prayers as well. I know we're taking as many prayers as we can. Avanice, thank you. Keep stalking me. You and Meg. If you're ever on my front porch at 7 in the morning, I'll have coffee with you and we'll talk about AI. Fair? All right, guys. Thank you all. I'll wait for one more question. Let me stop sharing my screen and get back to the little box that they put me in. RC, don't let me forget. We got to figure out how to get me back in full box mode. And the link for next week. RC, do you have a link for next week's webinar already generated? He probably does. He's really, really good at this. If you guys ever think you're talking to me through Alignable or email, you may be talking to me, but most likely you're talking to RC. But a lot of times he identifies himself as RCJ's assistant. But let's see if we get the link. If he doesn't have it quite yet, he's probably working on it because we're going to be doing a recording. We will get it up on the website and we will send it out via email. I hope you guys are all getting the weekly emails about these. Usually they go out Friday afternoon for the following week's webinar. So like this afternoon, you should be getting next week's. No worries. We will get it. And you can always go to jtheaiguy.com and then click on learn and webinars. Yep. Charisse, yeah, you can always go to our YouTube channel, which is JVI Mobile, or the website. We link to them, YouTube or jtheaiguy.com. There you go. Putting all those links. You can see all the webinars that we've done, along with a lot of other things that we've done over time. But show up live. If you show up live, I can interact. I can answer questions. One last thing. We are working on a potential paid workshop where we're going to get work done with you. Like we are going in, it's going to be 2 to 3 hours of workshop interactive. We're all cameras on. We're all going to be together. And we are working on what that looks like. We want to help you finish your AI projects. We want to look at what you're trying to do and let's get it done. No matter what tool we got to use, I'll let you use some of my tools, or we'll use some of my tools that I already pay for to help you get your work done. It's going to be, I think, Heather, I don't remember. I think it's going to be like $47. Like it's not going to be mine for a couple hours, and we're going to work with spots are going to be limited. We are going, D, you're funny. We are going to, we're trying to get this plan for maybe 3 or 4 weeks from now. Charisse, yeah, we threw everything into the chat so you can see the replays for all the previous ones. They're in the chat. If you go up there, YouTube channel has all of them. That link is there. And then jtheaiguy.com should have them as well. So that should be helpful. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend. There you go. Jay the AI Guy, learn replays. Thank you, RC. There you go. Replays should all be there. If not, find them on YouTube. But if in case any links are broken, they may be. We're doing them every week, so keeping up with the links is crazy. Show up next week and enjoy the webinar. I'll see you back live in 2 weeks, and we'll have a lot of details about this live workshop that we're planning on doing. We're really only going to be able to take I don't know, I think we said 40 people, but I really think we're only going to be able to take about 15 to 20 because we are going to work with you. We are going to build some stuff, right? And we're going to do it in real time together as if we were in the same room. Okay. And it's not going to be expensive. So, I mean, I could probably charge $1,000 and say that's not expensive, but when we're talking less than 50, you're good. Avanice needs a clone of RC. RC, I don't think you've cloned yourself yet, but we'll work on it. Charisse, thank you. Avanice, thank you. Everybody, Dee and Amy and everybody who was on, Meg, everybody who is here today. Sorry, I'm forgetting names and you'll yell at me later, but everybody who is here today, thank you for continuing to show up. Thank you for the prayers, and we will talk again. Well, you'll see me next week, but it won't really be me. But anyway, we'll talk again soon. Take care, everybody.